I was driving home from school December 13th, excited because the day was done and I was looking forward to my trip to Clarksville, Tennessee. I was going there to help my daughter Jessica and her 2 children move back to California so that she could regroup and start a new life. I wasn't looking forward to the long drive in the moving truck or moving a 2-story house, but I was looking forward to seeing Jessica get a fresh start. December is the month when I wear my pink Santa hat to teach and just to feel festive. So I went home, I put up my pink Christmas tree so it'd be ready for Jess and the kids when we got back to California, and I packed for my trip. As I was packing, my cell phone rang. It was Jessica's phone. She told me she wasn't feeling too good, something about her stomach. She was telling me that she was going to go to the doctor and have it checked out. "I love you, Mom," she said, "and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow." Late that night, I got a call from her friend Stephanie. She told me that she'd driven Jess to the ER because she was feeling so bad and that she had been admitted into Gateway Medical Center. My smile faded and concern replaced my optimism. I couldn't sleep that night and conversed with Stephanie every few hours to check on her condition, which was not improving. I finally got on an airplane and headed east. When I got to the hospital, I found her room, and I could not believe what I saw. There was Jessica just lying there. My beautiful 27-year-old daughter could not move, could not speak. What was it? Pancreatitis. Hour by hour, I stood by helplessly at her bedside as her condition continued to decline. After 3 days in Clarksville, they transferred her to Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville, where she continued to decline, had her ups and her downs, mostly downs. Discovering that Jessica had no medical insurance and that she was a veteran, they transferred her to the neighboring VA Medical Center, where her condition continued to have very little success. I'd be at the hospital daily for doctor's rounds, and I listened as the team discussed her condition and decided her fate. "Well, yesterday we did such and such. That didn't work. So what should we try today?" Nobody knew what to do for her. Christmas of 2007 was spent not with our happy Christmas tree as I had hoped, but with Ethan and Erilyn, her 2 children, and myself standing by her bedside. She was not awake. New Year's Eve was spent undergoing an emergency reintubation after a botched procedure. Jessica kept having issues and having to be reintubated, so eventually we ended up having to have a tracheotomy done on her to help her breathe. Then one day in mid-January, Jessica woke up. She started to show some improvement, so we were all very hopeful. Then on January 30th, after many phone calls and letters to our congressman in California, we were able to get her transferred to San Diego, California at the VA hospital, where she continued to show small signs of improvement. As each day passed, we had our ups and we had our downs, but one of the finest moments was being able to wheel her out for a field trip in front of the hospital, and so she could feel that sun on her face. Jessica's spirits dwindled. She became weaker, but yet she kept hanging on. And some days it felt almost as if we were rounding the corner and she would get out of there. Then came her birthday. She turned 28 in the hospital. Then we got the news that she was going to be allowed to move to Loma Linda, which would be a lot closer so family members could visit her. Her strength dwindled. Her body dwindled. And yet she kept hanging on. I spent most of my days with her. And this was the last day that I saw my beautiful daughter's eyes before she lapsed into her coma. As the pancreas began to digest the rest of her insides, She became very swollen as they pumped her full of fluids to try and counteract this action. They performed 2 surgeries to try and help her and to remove the toxins from her body. But she wasn't quite strong enough. And on the 2nd surgery, they performed CPR directly after, trying to save her life. They were unsuccessful. And on April 1st, 2008, my daughter, Jessica Leah Freeman, died. One of her last wishes, before she lapsed into unconsciousness, was that I climb into bed and I hold her. So as she took her last struggling breaths, I climbed into her bed and I held her until her heart stopped beating. Jessica Leah Freeman died April 1st, 2008. She was 28 years old, an Army veteran, a loving mother, a dear wife, my beloved daughter, and one hell of a woman.